Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, it's always a pleasure to be with you. I'm making it as professional as I can be with this introduction. But anyway, welcome again to our Men in Training M.I.T. mentoring session. Someone once told me, said, if you're ever going to teach or facilitate something, you have to be enthusiastic. Ooh. Word, man. That kind of stuck with me. You know, I look at my partner on the set. I let him introduce himself, but I always, all right, say his name. But hey, it's okay, man. Very enthusiastic about what he's doing. Yeah, I love it. So it's a great trait he has. Yeah, it's an awesome thing to be able. My name is Mike, one of your recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. And I try to be very enthusiastic no matter what. So that's a typo, boy. That's all right. Let's go. Facebook typo. Okay, so we are here once again, and so today we've been going over our M.I.T. and we laugh about it. It's hey man, not an inside joke, but we got a typo. But we're working on some new editor. We're gonna work on a new editor. We're gonna bring Karen back on the scene. Karen spell a lot better than Mike. We're gonna bring Karen back on the scene. Anyway, man. With all sincerity, it's always a pleasure to do this segment because it's something dear to our heart as men who are working on staying on the straight and narrow, the right path. And so we want to encourage all men, regardless of what diversity, what background you come from, all men can participate in this hybrid session of Men in Training M.I.T. And we share three objectives that we would like to work on. Number one is leadership, role models, and we want to empower all men. And so we have went over a few topics already. We have 5, but we already covered 2. And so, no, we covered 1. Excuse me, I understand it correctly. Last week we did recovery as far as men in training, what it looked like to be in recovery. And so today we want to talk about resiliency for men who are in training, mentoring, and how we can help shape not only our lives, but other people's lives. That's all what you need. This is a good topic to have, man. Like you were saying, and not only just our lives or men's lives, everybody. Yeah, everybody can benefit from it. We got all the other stuff out the way. We got another group tonight at 7. All these groups you can come to in person. Mm-hmm. Let me give you the address: 72 North Pearl Street. Yep. Come on in. We're here from 1 to 9 every Tuesday with other evening hours coming soon. And every 3rd Saturday we're here. So this month it will be the 16th. We'll be here from 11 to 2, and that's our family session day. So if you are a family or person or with someone in the area of recovery, you want to share your story, please let me know. Mm-hmm. And so don't forget to check us out at 2 p.m. Every Tuesday. Coffee and Conversation. Coffee. After this segment of discussion, we're going to do, someone's going to be doing a live hybrid session on Gratitude Tuesday. And also on tomorrow, our robust Recovery on Wheels will be at the Countryside Village. That is 99 Deerfield Drive, Seabrook, New Jersey. And that is at the Seabrook Housing, I believe, on tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's right. So we got all that out of the way. Let's get to work. So this segment is talking about 10 ways to build your resilience. And this article is brought to you by none other than verywellmind.com. Verywell Mind. Great website. Yes. You want to go, Mike? Oh, resilience. Refers to how well you can deal with and bounce back from difficulties of life. I like that.
It can mean the difference between handling pressure and losing your cool. I'm kind of cool under pressure. You just won't never know. Like, man, it's just
Cool, calm, and collected.
man, this dude's gonna get rattled, man. Throw the gate at him, man. You know,
3 C's. Throw the gate at him.
Wow. Well, it said resilient people tend to maintain a more positive outlook and cope with stress more effectively. Wow. Oh, this is good stuff, man.
That's stuff with you to T, man.
Oh, boy, it handles stress. It's not saying that person doesn't experience stress, right? It's not saying that whatever a person, this type of individual can be in the same scenario with everybody else. They're just more effective at dealing with the stress or coping with the stressful situation.
Wow.
Yeah. They can all be everybody. My mom told me this. Everybody, we ain't got nothing to eat in the house, right? She's losing her mind. My dad losing his mind. All the kids losing my mind. The dog sitting there like, man, I'm good with this bone. She said, that's how somebody got to be. Everybody can't be. She no food. My dad yelling, man, we ain't got no food. Kids, we ain't got no food. The dog over there like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm chilling. Oh, man, I'm broke. I'm over here chilling. So listen, research has shown that while some people seem to come by resilience naturally, these behaviors can also be learned, whether you're going through a tough time now or you want to be prepared for the next one. Here are 10 techniques that you can focus on in order to foster your own resilience. This is good stuff, man.
It's pretty good. And it's 10 of them, and I went over some of it. It's not that long and lengthy, but we're going to cover, I believe we have enough time to cover at least 10 of them.
Let's see.
All right. And so the first one says, find a sense of purpose. All right. Find a sense of purpose. And Mike is a purpose-driven man. And so absolutely, he's focused on purpose. And so I'll let him elaborate on that when he gets a chance. After it says, his article talks about a young lady. It says, after her 13-year-old daughter, who was unfortunately was killed by a drunk driver, Candace Lightner founded Mother Against Drunk Driving. Man, you may have heard of it. If not, I just spoke on it. Lightner focused her energy on creating awareness of the dangers of drunk driving. I promised myself on the day of Carrie's death that I will fight to make this needless homicide count for something positive in the years ahead. She later explained, in the face of crisis or tragedy, finding a sense of purpose can play an important role in your recovery. This might mean becoming involved in your community, cultivating your spirituality, or participating in activities that are meaningful to you. And so don't live in the past. Try to make use of a negative and turn it to a positive. And so I witnessed, since I came out of therapeutic community or treatment facility, and also being in trouble with the law, I noticed that there's some men who experienced some of the similar lifestyles that I experienced, but they went on to bounce back and turn a negative into a positive. Mike has a beautiful program. I don't know if you're able to share.
Minor adjustment.
Minor adjustment.
It necessarily my life. I just all the way through since August 2009, I just made little adjustments. I always had a major goal in mind, but I knew in order to get to that major goal, I had to make some minor changes. So then all the way throughout the walk, I've been making minor changes, and I'm still making them. Because as you get older and as you evolve, some of the things that you had in your old life, you can't do no more. I love playing basketball. I can't go run up and down the court like I did at 35. But so I made a change. I'm just shooting. Like
instead of going to the rim.
Yeah, I ain't doing all the perimeter. Perimeter, I'm on outside. I can't be in there and let nobody beat up on me, man. Come on, man. But you just got to make minor adjustments all the way through your life and find a sense of purpose. Like she said, Although it was a bad situation, she made it her aim to turn that into something positive. How can I take this situation that's negative and turn it into something positive? I always use the phrase, how to allow your past to push you into your destiny. So your past is one thing, which might be a painful situation, which a lot of us have a past. Everybody have a past, but a lot of us have painful ones.
Right.
And how can I find purpose inside of that situation? So we're talking about finding a sense of purpose in some of the things you've been experiencing.
I see one comment. That's something else.
Y'all know.
Yeah.
Let's see, number two.
Let's talk about number two.
All right, let's go to number two. Believe in your abilities. Having confidence in your own abilities to cope with the stresses of life can play an important part in real resilience. Becoming more confident in your own abilities, including your ability to respond to and deal with a crisis. You gotta believe in your own abilities. You have to have that. It says, it is a great way to build resilience for the future. Listen for negative comments in your head. When you hear them, practice immediately replacing them with positive ones. Boom. As soon as you don't ponder on them.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear that negative thought or ideas and stuff in your head, you have to replace them. Such as, I can do this. I am great. Friend, mother, partner. Or I'm good at my job. You got to replace those thoughts. If you sit there and ponder them, it's going to be, you're going to have a very bad day starting off wherever you are. Research has demonstrated that your self-esteem plays an important role in coping with stress and recovering from difficult events. Remind yourself of your strengths and accomplishments. Celebrate the smallest of victories. Remind yourself. If you remember, we was talking to someone in the halfway house at Kentucky. And he says, man, I kept telling him about making little changes and everything and celebrating small success. And he used to smoke so many cigarettes a day. He said, man, I just been so stressed out, I smoked so much cigarettes. By the time I kept coming every week, he said, hey, Mr. Mike. I said, yeah. He said, man, I'm only smoking 10 now. Then I came another week. He said, man, I'm only down to 5. So by the time the 8 weeks of me seeing him, he was down to like 2 cigarettes a day. And I said, that's how you got to celebrate the small victories. His ultimate goal was to get off of them, but he kept trying to he was up to 20. He was trying to quit 20 in one day.
One day, yeah.
I said, man, you might lose your mind for the withdrawal of that. So, but he had to believe in his own abilities, that he had the strength to be able to do it. And self-esteem plays a big part in that.
And you summed that up quite well. Number 3, develop a strong social network.
All right.
Might talk about that on the coffee conversation about social network.
Yeah,
not a
social support.
Social support. Yeah. And so I thought that was a great analysis. He said he runs a group of young people.
Yeah.
And he posed the question. I don't want to tell the whole story.
Not going.
But it's always good to have a support network in place. Right?
Yeah, most people have family support, but they can build up the support network outside the family.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have support network, and they can also be yes men type. Because they family.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, you know, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with one people. Like, you know what? Go ahead, but be careful. You know, no, you need somebody. Be like, man, you can't go hang with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes family support will do that because they like to please family.
And I'm glad you said that, because you know you don't want a bunch of yes men.
No.
Just like people, artists, you know, they start out and they might present a song to a person who's close to them, and they just saying yes.
That's good. Straight dollar.
With triple wood.
Triple wood.
It ain't go platinum, with triple wood.
Yeah.
All right. And so a social network. So it says it's important to have people you can confide in, having caring, supportive people around you who you ask around you acts as a protective factor during times of crisis. While simply talking about a situation with a friend or loved one won't make your troubles go away, it allows you to share your feelings, get support, receive positive feedback, and come up with possible solutions to your problems. Social support is imperative for health and well-being. That's number 3. All right.
Definitely need. You gotta have the social support. Social support is imperative. It says.
We want to receive positive feedback.
Positive. All right. Embrace change. Change is difficult for everybody in every arena. Don't matter what you believe. Change is difficult.
Very good.
Flexibility is an essential part of resilience. By learning how to be more adaptable, you'll be better equipped to respond when faced with a life crisis. Resilient people often utilize these events as opportunities to branch out in new directions. While some people may be crushed by erupted changes, highly resilient individuals are able to adapt and thrive. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's my whole chapter.
Yeah.
This is me for real.
It's your whole chapter?
Yes, yo, I'm able to adapt.
Okay.
And still thrive. Like it can be a pandemic. I'm still able to be creative, innovative, and keep thriving in spite of the pandemic. But everybody's in the pandemic. But I'm like, yeah, I know. But they're like, man, we got to stop holding back. And I'm like, nah, let's sell, let's buy more. Like,
I like how you put that. Yeah. I'm more creative and innovative.
Yeah, and it's no way to, but you got to be able to embrace change. Because if we honest, the whole world, not the whole world, a high percentage of the world have got stagnant and they was waiting for normal. Mm-hmm. They didn't do anything because they didn't embrace the change that we were going through. So they just stayed there and said, let's wait till normal come. But as you notice, it's 2.5 years in.
Yeah.
No.
So fear itself somewhat paralyzed people and left them stagnant.
And then instead of embracing change
and innovation
and
creativity and innovation.
And the only thing you have to do is embrace, like we saying, embrace change. Things change. Relationships, jobs change. Things change. You just have to embrace change instead of what we're going to do. We just need to, figure out, embrace change. Things are changing.
And so we're still talking. For those who may be just tuning in, we are talking about men in training M.I.T. and we're going over 10 ways to build your resilience. And so therefore, a lot of people, especially our targeted population, of men who have went through something in their lives. It could have been some type of traumatic incident.
Yes.
That could have caused them to mask their emotions or mask their coping skills by using drugs or alcohol in order to keep them from being able to move forward. And so when we're talking about resiliency is one of the ways to bounce back by having self-esteem, might say be creative and an innovator.
Yeah, you got to.
Being able to adapt and adjust.
And embrace the change. All change is difficult for everybody. But most people make change more difficult than it really is because they can't embrace it. Yeah. Like, man, don't change my system right now, man. Don't change. Like, I like systems and I like things to be certain way as well in my life. But I'm able to adapt even if that situation changed because I just like to be innovative. I want to try something different. My grandson bike, we was trying to put his bike together. And I didn't even feel like putting the training wheels on it, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that I could do it, I said, man, that's all right. I can change from, I was doing something else and I just went from that right to fixing the bike. And I said, you got to be able to embrace change because I didn't even feel like doing it.
Versatility and flexibility. Those are two good words that we want to leave with you today. Number 5, be optimistic.
Woo-hoo,
Be
some good stuff here, man.
Hey, man.
I'm glad I emailed you this lesson.
Why not? Be optimistic. They say staying optimistic during dark periods can be difficult, but maintaining it might work. But maintaining a hopeful outlook is an important part of resiliency. What you are dealing with may be difficult, but it's important to remain hopeful and positive about a brighter future. Positive thinking does not mean ignoring the problem in order to focus on positive outcomes. It means understanding that setbacks are temporary and that you have the skills and abilities to combat the challenges you face. The many benefits of optimism. All right? And so that doesn't negate the fact that you are going through a storm, or a situation.
Yeah.
It just means that find a better way to how to handle it, how to deal with it. And so the article talks about maintaining a hopeful outlook is an important part of resiliency.
And it says positive thinking does not mean ignoring the problem in order to focus on positive outcomes. It means understanding that setbacks are only temporary.
Only temporary.
It's only temporary, man. It's all right. It's happening. It can change.
Yeah.
It can change.
So number 6,
nurture yourself.
Nurture yourself.
When you're stressed, it can be all too easy to neglect your own needs. Self-care.
Self-care.
Losing your appetite, ignoring exercise, and not getting enough sleep are all common reactions to a crisis situation. Instead, focus on building your self-nurturing skills, even when you're in trouble. Make time for activities that you enjoy. Activities that you enjoy. I actually like building and working on my house, right? I like to go outside. I see the fence messed up, fix it, paint the deck. That's something that I enjoy. Although it's work, it's something that I enjoy. So it's a part of actually self-care because you're doing something that you enjoy. That's the key. By taking care of your own needs, you can boost your overall health and resilience and be fully ready to face life challenges. Like, what's up? What's going on out here? Stuff happening, and like you like, man, the person taking this thing pretty good. He don't see this storm.
Yeah. And so if you see someone or you know someone, or if it's you, if you're not taking care of yourself, ignoring either, right? Your appetite is going down, ignoring exercise, not getting enough sleep. Pause, breathe a little. Mike always say, pull over, park, and pause. Did I say it right?
Pull over, pause, and park. Yeah,
I almost got it right.
That's good enough. It's all in the same area, family.
But it's very important, especially a lot of times, even professional people who sit behind desks, decision making. A lot of times we may or they may not realize that they're moving too fast. Our supervisor said have too many tabs open, or
too many.
Or too much on your plate.
You got too many tabs.
That's when you need to breathe a little bit, and that goes for the lay person as well. So
that's true.
This M.I.T. is for the lay person, the professional person.
That's right.
We all need to be able to sharpen our skills in certain areas that we may be lacking.
To take care of ourselves and make sure we get the self-care that we need.
Yeah. And so number 7 talks about develop problem-solving skills.
All right.
Develop problem-solving skills. That's very important. Research suggests that people who are able to come up with solutions to a problem are better able to cope with problems than those who cannot. Whenever you encounter a new challenge, make a quick list of some of the potential ways you could solve the problem. All right? Experiment with different strategies and focus on developing a logical way to work through common problems. By practicing your problem-solving skills on a regular basis, you will be better prepared to cope when a serious challenge emerges.
Practice.
Using problem-solving strategies to find solutions.
Practice.
So it says use several strategies to how to better deal with the problem, solve the problem, and come up with a concrete solution.
Yeah, they use the word logical. Come up with a logical way. So when you're doing problem solving and you come up with a logical solution to the problem, like something realistic, you know, you're not far-fetched. This is logical. Like this can happen. And some of the problems we just need to develop like it says, practice using problem solving skills. The more you use them, the better. When the situations get increased, more problems get very intense, you'll be able to come up with solutions. Because everybody can tell you about problems, but don't nobody want to have a meeting about some solutions. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. All right, we got that. Right. Oh, where's the meeting? Where's the solution meeting at? That's the meeting I want to go to.
When the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, so you got to have problem solving skills. And again, it's not something that we say we mastered. It's just saying this is some realistic information. We need to come up with problem solving skills. I don't have all the answers. Shoot, I'm a father. I don't know all the answers. If my kid asks me something, I'm like, I don't know. We've got to find out and research problem solving skills.
And that's why it's so important to have these hybrid sessions where as men we can bounce ideas off of one another, because I know a lot of times when I was job searching, I would come up with face some problems where I couldn't even solve, and I needed someone to help me.
That's right.
And when I was going to school, you know, I didn't know all the things that I need to know, all this new stuff. But them young people, them young people know, and so I was able to ask them. And one thing I always focus on is that when you're willing to help yourself, people are willing to help you, especially when you're faced with a problem.
That was one of my points yesterday at church. Well, somebody will always come and assist you.
Yeah,
all the time.
All the time.
Somebody will always come to assist you every time.
Every single time.
All right, number 8, you're doing good. Establish goals.
Establish goals.
Crisis situations are daunting. They may even seem insurmountable. Resilient people are able to view these situations in a realistic way and then set reasonable goals to deal with the problem. When you find yourself becoming overwhelmed by a situation, take a step back to simply assess what is before you. Brainstorm possible solutions, then break them down into manageable steps. Well, this one, we can do this one, we can do this, we can do this. But the first key to that is taking a step back.
Taking a step back. Pause.
That's the key. Pull over, pause. Step back. Breathe.
That's it.
My watch tell me all the time. I got it on my wrist. It says it's a mindfulness app. And it says reflect 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute, just sit back and reflect. Then it says breathe. Take a step back. Yeah, it's a good one.
And those are some of the exercises that we are taught through behavior modification.
Yeah.
There's some breathing exercises. So if you feel yourself being erratically out of control or feel yourself irritable, take a step back.
Take a step back.
Breathe. Number 9 says take action. After you breathe, you want to take action. Simply waiting for a problem to go away on its own only prolongs the crisis. Instead, start working on resolving the issue immediately. While there may not be any fast or simple solution, you can take steps toward making your situation better and less stressful. Focus on the progress that you have made thus far and planning your next steps, rather than becoming discouraged by the amount of work that still needs to be accomplished. Actively working on solutions will always help you feel more in control. Rather than just waiting for things to happen, watch this, being proactive allows you to help make your goals a reality. Instead of just waiting on stuff just to automatically come to you, seek out ways and strategies or friends, or come to a hybrid meeting that we have and discuss it. If you're having a bad day, you may be going through relationships, work, communication. We don't have it all, but
you gotta take action.
you gotta take some action.
You can't just sit there and think, I'm gonna just let this go ahead. No. Nah, man.
Sweeping it on the road.
That rug get bigger. Go shit it on your coffee on top of that coffee table now. Listen, you gotta take action. It says actively working on solutions will also help you feel more in control. You gotta take action, be proactive. Yes. Action stage. I was thinking about the stage of change, and that's one of the stages of change, action stage. Number 10, keep working on your skills. Resilience may take time to build. So don't get discouraged if you struggle to cope with problematic events. Everyone can learn to be resilient. It doesn't involve any specific set of behaviors or action. Resilience can vary dramatically from one person to the next. Focus on practicing these skills, as well as the common characteristics of resilient people, but also remember to build on your existing strength.
So that was 10.
10 good.
We went over 10.
Go.
Good 10 ways to build your resilience. And so we're focusing on getting this segment of Men in Training M.I.T. mentoring. We're trying to get it bigger. We're trying to get it better, stronger.
Yeah.
We know that we have people that join us throughout the week or virtually. But we need to have some bodies inside this place here.
Come on, stop in, man,
and be a part of what we're doing. And so if you're camera shy, all right,
you won't have to be on the camera.
Right.
But if you have any topics you would like us discussed on the M.I.T. meeting or any other meetings, please leave us a comment. Any topics you would like us to discuss for men in the comment section, and then we'll go over that as well.
Yep. So thank you once again for being a part of what we're doing. Don't forget to join us at 7.
That's right.
Gratitude Tuesday. And so we'll see you next week. Perfectly.
All right.